Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I decided to tell you the story how I moved to America from Ukraine. At first I want to make a cup of coffee for myself, and don't forget to subscribe. I love coffee. My story begins back in 2018. No, in 2013 when I first met my future husband. And so, how it was? So many people always ask me how I found guy from America in Ukraine, and I will answer you, I didn't looking for him, it's all happens by accident. In January 2013, Ilya left Alaska for half a year to study in Missionary Bible School in Florida. After half a year of training, students were divided into groups and sent to different countries to serve people. In that year, 2013, many students were sent to Ukraine, Ilya also. His team traveled to different villages in Ukraine and made kids camp for low-income families. I often went to one of these villages to help with kids camp and ministries too. So on June 30, 2013, we met in the Dnipro region. Of course, Ilya fell in love at first sight. I thought that he was so strange. He looked at me very strangely. He followed me everywhere, asked me about my whole life. By the way, I was 17, Ilya just turned 18. Only when we started a relationship, he told me that he understood that I was behaving strangely, but didn't know how to win my attention. You must remember that we were still teenagers. I really don't know what he saw in me then. Look at my eyebrows. It is so awful. I always tell everyone, it's just God. He wanted to take me out of Ukraine and change my life. I never had a good friendly family. I was brought up in a foster family all my life. From the age of 16, I actually lived on my own. In that year, 2013, my relatives from the foster family somehow didn't react very well to Ilya. He spoke Russian poorly and didn't understand a lot of things. They always told me, "He's stupid, you probably will milk cows with him in the US." Imagine if you were told that. Of course I wanted to stay away from him, I was 17. Yes, it took Ilya 4 years to win my heart. Ilya proposed to me for the first time when I was 19, 2 years later. At that time I was already at university and Ilya was already building his first house. I didn't know that. In 2014 the war began in Ukraine and Ilya's parents heard enough on the news and didn't let him go to Ukraine because he still had a Ukrainian passport. So he decided to propose me online. Rather, his parents advised him. By the way, who doesn't know, he was born in Ukraine, Odessa, and he lived his first year there. It sounds funny, but he thought, okay, maybe in Ukraine it's normal to do this. They're from Ukraine, they know better. So, how it was? It was Saturday morning, he called me on Facebook several times in a row. I didn't pick up the phone because the day before I got wet in the rain and got very sick. I didn't even have the voice to speak and I text him, "I can't speak, write me what do you want to say?" And he answers, "Okay, you wanted it so yourself." And then writes, "I can't come to Ukraine now, but I want you to become my wife and live the rest of your life with me." And ends, "Don't worry about the ring, I'll bring it to you as soon as I arrive in Ukraine." To say that I was in shock, it's to say nothing. I almost choked on my pill there. Of course I said no. I wasn't going to get married. I have study, I have friends here, my hometown. I like my new adult life. By the way, that whole day I was so bad that the ambulance took me to the hospital. I had a crazy life. I laughed at him, walked with other guys, and he was still waiting for me. I'm telling you, it's just God, he gave him such a love for me. Another guy would have let go a long time ago and started a new life. He told me that he even asked one pastor for advice and he told him, "Forget her, she's not for you." After that, he didn't write to me for more than 2 months. He told me later that he tried to work hard and be distracted, but at the end of these 2 months he said to himself, "If she does not write to me during this week, I will let her go." And imagine, I wrote on Saturday at the end of the week. Is that not God? I tell you how it was on my part. I had a Friday evening, I was on the bus to the university, and then the thought comes to me, "How is Ilya?" I probably offended him and immediately write to him, "How are you?" Yes, I never thought much about action. I always could easily write or say something to a person. It was a sign for Ilya, which gave him hope to wait another 2 years. I didn't know anything yet. For me, it was a simple interest, nothing else. I rarely communicated with him. After another 2 years, he wrote me, "My dad is going to Ukraine, I won't go with him, can I come to visit you?" And I said without any thought, "Of course." I talked about this with my friend and roommate. She told me, "Katya, what are you doing? You give him a chance, stop doing it." Then I realized, for sure, and wrote him, "You can come, just don't give me a ring, please." He replied, "I'll come and talk." Only when we got married did he tell me that if I had written this message an hour earlier, he wouldn't have arrived. He had already managed to buy tickets and a ring, and said to himself, "I must do my best. If she say no, I will close the page with her, but I have to try." He came, of course, he proposed me the next day. I was surprised that I can't say no right away. Usually I could easily leave some guy and never think about him later. Then something really stopped me. And that night when I went to bed, I said to God, either help me, let him go, or give me a love. I remember when I woke up the next day, Ilya cooked fried potatoes, the whole house smelled delicious. I felt love and some peace. I felt that this is my man for life. After that day, I began to look closely at him. I started to like his appearance. I always knew that he had a cool character, but I started to like his appearance in these days. I didn't last long, and 3 days later I told him yes. I remember how this ring was huge on me that I couldn't take any pictures, so he took it back to reduce the size, so I didn't have anything to show, even to my relatives, as proof. But the most difficult thing was to tell my relatives about the engagement. You remember that I didn't have a good relationship with them, and many thought that I was getting married out of spite. They also remembered that I didn't want to have anything with him at all and didn't want to talk to them about him. Yes, we got engaged and began to make documents for visa to America. Who cares? They gave me a K1 visa, it's also called a fiancé visa. I can talk about the visa in another video if you're interested. It took us 9 months, and all the time we were in a relationship at a distance of thousands of miles and in a difference of 11 hours. It was the most difficult test for me, but this is another story. I honestly still can't understand why me. He could choose a girl who wouldn't have to be relearned to live in a new country, a girl who knows English well and who doesn't need to translate everything for the first couple years. He would not spend so much money and time on documents and my moving, but probably this is what is called true love. And yes, he waited for me almost 5 years. Babe, how could you wait for me so long? Please, answer me.
I need to think about it.
Babe, no, seriously.
I don't know.
How? You seriously? I made this romantic video and you don't know? Babe.
Didn't I tell you?
No.
No?
It's because it's love.
Yes.
Babe,
Because, huh?
Seriously?
Because you captured my heart
What else?
and didn't want to let it go. That's why I had to come to Ukraine, so you can let me go. But you said yes.
How dare you say yes?
So now we're stuck together.
Together. This is our story. Now I'm so grateful to all my family and friends for being a part of my story. Without them, all this wouldn't have happened. Now at least I have an interesting story that we will tell our children. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can support me by liking and commenting on this video. Peace and love in your family.